I was busy walking while I was recording this video, then I realized I could just use the advantage of the sun and the backdrop of the building behind me, which kind of looks pretty dope. So I could just like record the video right here and say what I have to say. Anyways, I was busy recording and I was talking about how it gets tiring as a Christian. I'm speaking from my own personal experience because I want to see how many people can relate to this kind of situation. I get tired as a Christian who has to live a life of two devotions. I don't know if I'm going to phrase it properly, but I think what I really want to say is it gets tiring to be called as a Christian because I'm called as a Christian, but then at the same time also I'm called to be a provider one day when I become a husband. I'm called to be a father. I'm called to be a leader. I'm called to be somebody who has to also have people who would look up to, in the sense that what I mean by that is I'm having this challenge constantly where I don't know if it's just an issue of explaining myself or just an issue of trying to find a balance between my work, my life's work, and my Christian walk. And every day I have to always do this sort of like check, like I have to do an audit of my life. And this audit of my life consists of me asking myself the questions like, God, am I walking according to your will? Am I walking according to how you have called me to live? Am I doing what you want me to do? And then at the same time also I have to ask myself the question of, is my finances okay? Am I where I want to be because I planned to be there for the past few years? Like, am I there where I've wanted to be when I told myself I'll be there in the next 5 years or 2 years or 3 years, depending on my plan? And every time when I get to those days or those moments of my life, I'm constantly challenged by the thought of my two callings. And I don't know if it's just me, but I do sometimes feel very challenged with that. And sometimes I don't know how to feel as a believer, in the sense that yes, like I want to live my Christian life as I was called to live my Christian life, and I was called to be a follower of Christ. But at the same time also I'm asking myself, like, do I want to live a life where I'm honestly like constantly living a life where I'm not really giving myself to Christ? And I don't know how to think. I don't know what to say about that, because it's a bit hard. It can be a bit hard sometimes. Gents, a bit hard. Oh, wait. Why aren't you guys driving? Why aren't you guys driving the bikes? Are you tired? Really? Damn. Nah, power to you guys, man. Sure. Yeah, just a bunch of guys, but yeah. Anyways, I was saying, like, it gets very challenging, man, as a believer. Like, I don't know, it's like I look to certain people out there who are, I don't want to say running businesses, I want to say people who are working, because these days now it's a bit taboo to say to someone, I'm an entrepreneur, or I run my own business, or I make my own money. It's very taboo because everybody seems to think the only way to make money is to have a job. So I work for myself, so I'm basically employed. I'm employed, but I also work for myself, and I'm a Christian. The people that I look up to, and the people that I really find inspiration from, that happen to be believers in Christian, I sometimes wonder how they live with this challenge, if it is a challenge. Like, I sometimes wonder if it is even a challenge to them. Like, do they even think about this sort of things? And I've honestly asked myself, like, do I want to put myself in a situation where I have to constantly ask myself this question? Or is this just how it's going to be with life as a Christian? Like, are we honestly just called to always question ourselves every second, every moment, and every hour? And I guess I'm just going to leave this question up there in the air. Maybe I might have a good audience, people who might be able to help me with this. People might be willing to answer this question for me, and it will probably be helpful. Nevertheless, I want to conclude by ending that my solution for me, while I'm still working in the struggle, is I just want to continue to remain faithful to God, man, because it's never easy. Like, it's never easy to lose doubt and lose faith. And I want to say it is not the religion that I grew up with, it's more of the religion and the faith that I've come to believe for myself with my own experiences. Because nowadays, when you come from a continent such as this, one of the darkest continent in the world, where there's a lot of challenges, a lot of turmoil, a lot of like ups and downs, you are expected to somehow give something that you grew up with. And a lot of young people in my generation now, a lot of young people even in my own circles, let me just do this quickly, like a lot of young people in my own circles, in my own group, they easily give up this faith, and it's not something that I want to challenge them on. It's more so something that I think maybe they should really take a bit of time to think about their life's choices. Because at the end of the day, everybody is called to live his or her own life, and you can't really force someone. But at the same time also, if you have had experiences in a certain situation and it was positive and it positively impacted your life, you kind of have to ask yourself that question: is this something worth living for, or is it something worth giving up? And not just giving it up for a few pleasure, or giving it up because you think the next big thing is going to be much more better. You sometimes can weigh your balance and just try out both things and see how far life can take you. The reason why I don't like to talk a lot about my faith and my religion, especially on this channel or on my social media, is because I don't want that to be the driving force to make people believe in what I'm doing, or I don't want to use that as a form of, I guess I don't want to monetize my lifestyle over my religion. And I notice a lot of people do that. Like, they tend to win a certain audience over because of their, there's a motorbike. I hope you guys can see when it's anyways, what I notice with a lot of Christians and believers in the space, in the entrepreneurial space, in the space of business, even in the space of tech, black business spaces, what they tend to do a lot is they try to use their faith and their religion to gain an audience. They'll be like, I'm a Christian entrepreneur, I'm a Christian business owner, I got a business, but I also believe in God, so therefore you should support me. I feel like that's just a shallow way to win people over. I don't think that's what we are called to do as believers. I don't think it's a nice way to, because then at the same time, what exactly are you winning over? Are you winning a good audience over? Or are you just like, let me just paraphrase that quickly. Is your audience going to be an authentic audience? Like, is your audience the kind of people that you feel will give you the support you deserve? Because at the end of the day, I think it's great that we can say we are Christians in the space, we are Christians founders, but we're not creating things just for Christians. We are creating things for everyone. And if in that creation people are drawn to our lives, people are drawn to the way we live, and they ask themselves the question, but why are you like this? The one question that you want to have people, and not what I mean by people is, the one question you want to have clients ask you is, I see how you deal with business, I see how you deal with money, and I like the way you've treated me as a person. You're not just out here being hungry for my money, but you also are dealing with me as a human being, and I like that. Where do you draw that inspiration from? Where do you draw that knowledge from? And I want my response to that person to be, hey, the reason why I'm able to do this for you, and the reason why I act the way I do, is because I have Christ in me, and I'm a believer, and I'm a follower of Jesus Christ, and that's why I deal like this in business, and that's why in my particular space you feel the way you feel, because I've dealt with you the way Christ would expect me to deal with you. And I've constantly spoken about this book, and I really love this book because it has helped me to think and understand what it means to be a Christian in the marketplace. And besides that, also, this is knowledge coming from the Bible. I mean, it's not like the biblical knowledge is not enough for you. I feel there's a lot of knowledge, a lot of biblical wisdom in terms of business that you can find in the Bible by reading the Bible, that can show you and express and explain to you what it's like and how it's like to deal in a society with people as a Christian. And yeah, man, so it's just one of that thought that I had, and I really, I'm glad I was able to vent like this. I don't know what people think, but in the comment section, I would really love to hear, man. Am I the only Christian who struggles with this idea of being a Christian and then also running a business? Or am I seeing this thing differently? Am I seeing it a bit different? Or so you guys can help me out. Let me know what you guys think. But I'll leave it right there. Please find all my links in the description box, and don't forget to give this video a like and a subscribe. And also, like, let's just have a chat, man. Let's have a chat and let's see where this goes. Alright then, until the next time, guys. I hope to see you until next time. Damn, you guys love the backdrop. You guys love the backdrop. Ah.